Hulu has a brand new movie coming out this week called Not Okay. Now, I wasn't too interested in this one until I heard the concept was about a young woman who wants to find followers and fame. And when she poses that she is fake in Paris, she finds out there's actually a deadly terrorist attack out there, and then she starts to become famous when she wasn't even in Paris. So it's this whole scam and all sorts of things like that. This is a very interesting movie, and it's going to be fun to talk about this one. What's going on, buddy? Welcome back to a brand new movie review. Today we're discussing Searchlight Pictures' brand new film, Not Okay, directed and written by Quinn Shepard and starring the likes of Zoey Deutch, Dylan O'Brien, Sarah Yarkin, Annabeth Davids, and many, many more. This is a comedy/drama that is dealing with a lot of different issues, and like I mentioned, it is about an ambitious young woman who wants to find a following, who wants to gain that social media notoriety that many people in our society nowadays want. But when she actually poses as the survivor of a deadly attack, she starts to soon learn that online notoriety comes with a terrible price. And for me in this particular avenue, I was quite interested specifically because Zoey was in this. I think Zoey is one of the most underrated actresses working right now. Every single time she appears in something, I think she is absolutely delightful and charming and absolutely just a star in the making. Seriously, every single role. And Not Okay, there are issues that with this film that I have that just make it a little bit too cringy, and we're going to talk about those. But there's also a lot of pros to this that I feel are very strong. Now, this is not going to be for everyone. There are going to be people who find this to be way too cringy or maybe just way too comedic for the purpose of what they are actually trying to show, but I'm very happy to say that I did enjoy Not Okay overall. I think there's some things that hold it back and make it more of a streaming movie than something that you would go out and see in the theaters, and this is a streaming movie streaming on Hulu, but we're going to have a fun discussion talking about this, guys. Make sure to leave your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section, as well as hit that like and subscribe button if you also love talking movies, because I know I do, and if you are here, you are in the right place. So speaking of Not Okay, let's jump right into my pros, and the first thing I want to talk about is the performances from Zoey Deutch, who is absolutely phenomenal as Danny Sanders in here. She does such a great job with not just the way that she embodies herself and brings about into the situation that she's in, but as well as certain directing styles that I'm sure Shepard decided to do in here, with just like her eyes and the way that she made herself feel very needy and needing the social media following and wanting it and the awkwardness of it all. There's some elements in there that again are very reminiscent of things going on TikTok and Instagram right now, and I was very impressed to see how Not Okay was able to do that. As well, Dylan O'Brien absolutely does a great job as Colin in here. He's kind of that like one-note douche that you see on social media, and I thought Dylan O'Brien was great. I was really happy to see that he actually got a different type of role in here, and that guy just deserves absolutely like way more performances than I would imagine. The last performance I really want to talk about, though, is Mia Isaac as Rowan. She is a very important part to this entire story because she is the survivor of a deadly shooting. And for me, there's a lot of background history into that, and specifically how it ties into Zoey's character and all of that stuff, specifically because Zoey is lying about everything going on behind the scenes. I was really, really impressed with Mia Isaac's performance in here, and I thought she did a wonderful job showing the two different parallels of especially the way that I think Quinn Shepard really does a great job of directing this movie and some of the writing, specifically the way that it kind of goes right down the line. And it shows Zoey as this liar and this fake person having to keep up this lie about surviving a deadly attack in Paris. And then you have Mia, who is actually the survivor of a deadly attack, and the two different ideologies, and, you know, how does the following and how does social media work, and how does that work towards both people? How do people treat other people differently, and how do they actually react to this, whether it is dealing with PTSD and certain elements like that. And I think it's smart to have that, because if you didn't have Rowan, Mia Isaac's character, in here, the story would have felt very one note. And for me, I think, honestly, very too much cringy to the point where it kind of comes off in an inexcusable way to where you are not cheering for anyone in this and you are absolutely hating this character, and she becomes a very unlikable character. But thankfully, because you have Mia Isaacs, you do see the likable personality in Dutch's character, Zoey Sanders, or Danny Sanders, and I was very impressed with that. Now, overall, looking at the entire picture of this, I think Quinn Shepard does a really good job in the way that he stylizes and actually talks about social media, the following of it, the way that so many of us clamor for that, always checking our followers, always checking those likes when you post a picture, always hoping to maybe get that next bump. Or even the jealousy that maybe some people feel from watching others succeed, and you're like, why am I not succeeding? Like, why does this person get to succeed? There are elements in there that I was very impressed with Quinn Shepard's directing and writing that I thought was very stylistic and very approachable, while at the same time, again, having that parallel was so important, and I can't express it enough, because Zoey's character in here is a sociopath, hand in and hand through. I understand people lie on social media all the time to gain that following, to do what they want to do, but this is a character that absolutely is very unlikable at times. And again, Zoey is such a great actress that you actually come to like her and really much want to see where this train wreck of a following goes. And by the end of the story, I found myself getting a little bit out of it. I feel like the film could have probably been around 10-15 minutes shorter. I think there wasn't enough material to fill out the hour and 40-minute runtime, because that's really where my cons start to stem, is some of the pacing is a little bit lackluster. And I actually wish they would have taken its time and touched on certain things, building on the part that she actually is like faking this entire thing and then moving into what is going on. Because some of the social media following from that, it just didn't feel completely right. But also, I mean, I've never gone viral, so I would not know. So there's certain things in this that I, again, am very impressed with in the way that they were able to create and fundamentally create in here. But when it comes down to the overall thing, I think the pacing is a little bit there. There are a couple cringy moments that I don't feel like were needed, specifically when it comes down to the comedy of it all. And I actually wish they would have framed this more as a drama than anything else, because the dramatic moments start to hit towards the end, but I never felt like they were as strong as they probably should have been, specifically with the Sanders character that Zoey is playing. I think that's what really just makes this movie a good streaming film. This is the movie that a lot of people are going to discover randomly when it debuts, and you're going to watch it and you're going to be like, damn, that was pretty interesting. I think some people will either fall into the style and the tone that they are setting up here, or some people will not even finish the movie because in the end of the day, they're going to find it to be a little bit too cringy with certain comedy bits. And I think that just really comes down to your sense of humor and exactly what you are in the mood for. So overall, I enjoyed Not Okay. I think Zoey is phenomenal in this, but I do not think that this is one of the strongest films of the year. Thankfully, because of Mia Isaac's character Ronan, I think she did a phenomenal job actually giving this role some meat, and specifically that parallel that Shepard was able to create between the two. This is an interesting movie that will not be for everyone, but if it is your cup of tea, I think you might enjoy it. So with all that said, I'm going to give Not Okay a B-. Let me know down below what your guys' thoughts are on this film. Overall, I'm really excited to hear your guys' thoughts. Thank you so much again for watching this. Make sure to head on over to Samsung Films on how to see films early. And of course, until next time, stay classy.